we're going to do a bit on how to plant your plumerias from cutoffs. You're going to need some tie wire. You're not going to need your pitchfork or your trident if you're from the ocean. But you'll need some tie wire, some dikes or side cutters, whatever you prefer to call them. Some people don't like the term dike. It's just a word for pliers, side cutters. You're going to need something called root tone. Root tone. You can use it or not. Nevertheless, so what I've already done is I've taken some of my pots and I've used my post hole diggers and I've dug some holes about so deep into the ground there. And that way the pot has holes in the bottom. I put a layer of some soil in there, and on top of the soil to seal the holes, then some rock on top, some of this rock on top of the soil for drainage, a little bit of rock, and then more soil. Then I pop them in the holes, and you can see that it only takes pretty much one of those if the dirt's kind of soft. It doesn't take much to put that in there. This was a plant that was cut off and thrown in the trash. It's growing wonderfully now. I scraped the bottom with a pocket knife and put in the root tone with a little bit of water, and it's been about 6 months, but it's growing really well. Same technique in the pot. Anyway, we're gonna put this last pot in that hole. I've got these plumerias here that I've dried out for about a week at least, and now I just soak them in the water for a little while. You don't have to soak them, you can. There's many different techniques for starting your plumerias. I do them different ways just to see which is going to work out the best eventually. I've been growing plumerias about since 2000, I don't know, 99 or so. Probably since 99 or earlier. So I got the pots in the ground. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a, oh boy, what am I going to do? Hold on one second. Well, okay, bummer. So what I would normally do is we'll use this. So what we want to do now is we want to soak the pots a little bit with some water. Get some water in there. Your first soaking of the plumerias, the first time you put them in, you want to soak them. You want to soak them heavily the first time you put them in. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Make sure it's really nice and wet. Okay, good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our plumerias. We already got one in the ground here with a stake. So we're going to get our root tone and our pocket knife. We're going to open the pocket knife that I got at a garage sale. It's like a $40 knife. I got it for $1. Anyway, I'm going to take the bottom of one of these plumerias. I'm going to scrape it off a little bit where it's going to go in the dirt to get some of that green showing there. We're going to scrape this off just a little bit till we get a little green showing. Get a little green there showing, so when I put it in my root tone, it's going to help to start some growth a lot easier than coming through that bark. So scrape it off a little bit, try not to torture the plant too much. Again, some people don't do this. After I do that, I take my root tone, grab your root tone or whatever rooting stuff. Some people use it, some people don't. Anyway, you could just dip it in there. Uh-oh. If it fits, shake it in there, shake it off. They say don't leave too much on there. Anyway, so then after you got that done, your root tone, your plumeria, you're going to grab your side cutters or your dikes. And if you already have a plumeria in here like I do with the bamboo, you'll go ahead and try to line this up so you can you want to tie it off. So we're just digging it out here. Need a little more soil. Digging it out. Then what we're going to do, take a little tie wire. We can find the end of it. We don't have time for the end, so we're just going to cut a piece out about 6 inches long. Going to straighten out your plumeria so it's kind of centered, and then just kind of tie it on there with the tie wire. So and the roots are really frail and fragile, so while it's growing, you don't want it moving around too much. So I got it set in there, pushing the soil down a little bit around it. And that's how you would start one of the ways you would start a plumeria.